Holt started Essie's wake-up procedure and sent remotely for Gemble, the new science chief, too. While they were woken up, he liaised with Ulf about how bad things were, because he didn't want to go do his job without a full key crew, because he didn't want to even think about coming back here to find more red lights and fewer friends. Ulf looked smaller than he had been, shriveled in on himself by suspension, his ship suit seeming to pool around him as he perched on his feet. "Deceleration," he said. "Captain. Heo. I did everything I could. I ran all the checks." "We know," Holt said. "Just tell us." The Enkidu had survived all those long light years from Earth, coasting across the vast and silent depths of space with minimal system activity, just baseline power and the suspension systems. All the many thousands of pods, keeping alive the tiny crew, plus the vast population in the hold. The minuscule proportion of the population they'd been able to get off Earth. And things had gone wrong along the way, of course. Ulf and Holt, and a varying selection of crew members, had come out of their long death sleep to fix them. But overall, everything had proceeded as planned, because although space was full of hazards, it was mostly full of nothing. And that nothing didn't push the tolerances of the ship to breaking point. Then they'd finally reached the system they'd been travelling towards for longer than the recorded history of their civilization, and had been forced to slow down. As the Enkidu had fallen into an arc around the sun, using the drag of the star to save on fuel as they decelerated, something in the vast old vessel's vacuum-eroded hull had fractured. We've lost, Gemble was saying, high emotion and a natural stammer collaborating to choke his words off. 11,094 units of cargo, sir. 11,094, sir. Creator, forgive us! Essie Arbandier, now out of her pod, put a hand on Holt's arm, and he touched her fingers. And he shrugged her off. He shrugged her off because he had to, and asked, "How are we now? Hull integrity? Can we even make orbit?" Ulf was nodding, working with the Enkidu to model the damage and how much worse it would get the moment any more stress was applied to the ship. The stress of slowing down. The stress of altering their trajectory from a line into an orbital curve. The killing certainties of mathematics. "Going to hurt," he said. His projections sprang to life on everyone's display, and straight away Hal and Agam started tampering with them, conjuring a deployment of their shuttles, their haulers, even the automated drones, how they might act as buffers to keep the battered old Enkidu together, spending their own integrity to protect the mothership. Holt slumped in his seat, the pair of them bickering back and forth, as he ran through all the other reports. Before the detonation, Ulf had already been trying to evacuate some of the cargo. He'd seen the problems, just not how bad they were about to get. Helena had had a security team woken up and mobilized as people handlers, except the people they'd been about to handle were gone now, along with a whole splinter of the ship a half-kilometre long. 11,094 units of cargo, meaning suspension pods, meaning people. Essie had her own models, using the same vessels Helena was positing as structural buttresses. She was trying to save the lost cargo. Except the vast majority of that cargo was already beyond recovery, shattered, splintered, depowered, dead in their sleep, with their last memories an embarkation on Earth over 2,600 years before, objectively speaking. Maybe there were worse things, and maybe there would be more, because the ship was all flaws and vulnerabilities now, the hull and all its internal spars and struts and walls riven with weaknesses.